The Jet Sweep Show with your co-hosts Will It's Harris Time Harris and Josh Smoky Hell NFL Nelson. Strap in, folks. You are cleared for flight in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to the Jet Sweep Show, where we get you caught up on the week that was and prepared for the week to come. In place of my handsome co-host Will It's Harris Time Harris is a picture of Will's ancestor. That's right, Ichabod Thaddeus Ulysses the Swamp Wolverine Harris, providing me with courage and inspiration. While my boy Will has a much-deserved night off. We love you, Will. As I mentioned, I'm here to get you caught up on the week that was and the one that will be. So, let's dive into the Black Box, which brings you the important news and info from the week. The true teams of worth are starting to show just that and create some separation, like chaff from the wheat, between them and their conference rivals. Now, the Cowboys and the Ravens posted impressive victories in quite different manners, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that this would be an amazing Super Bowl matchup. I mean, I'm a little biased. I love both these teams. I think they'd be amazing in the Super Bowl. Anyways, not to get ahead of ourselves, because there's still the undefeated Arizona Cardinals, who might have something to say about that, putting up their own impressive victory over a Cleveland Browns team that got very beat up in the process. Keep an eye on Baker, who was in a sling post game, and OBJ. Chubb might be coming back, but Kareem is likely out at least a couple weeks or longer with a scary calf injury. It also looks like Garoppolo is back at practice and Lance is out for the meantime. Which will certainly throw a wrench into many fantasy gamers' mid-season hopes of a Lance breakout. I'm one of them. But that brings us into the Flyby, which is the weekly leaders in fantasy football as of before this game tonight. So we're going to start off with quarterback, and it's Kirk Cousins. You wouldn't think it by watching the games, but Cousins actually came out on top prior to tonight's game, completing 33 of 48 pass attempts for 373 yards and 3 touchdowns, adding on 16 rushing yards. I didn't catch this whole game, admittedly, but I was a bit surprised to see that he edged out Dak, Kyler, Stafford, who happened to be 2, 3, and 4 respectively. Efficiency. No interceptions, so that's that helps, I guess. Anyways, we're moving on. Fuck Kirk Cousins. At running back, we have Leonard Fournette, another one out of left field, man. Uncle Lenny put up 81 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, adding 6 receptions for 46 yards in the receiving game. This receiving game work is what put him over the likes of Jonathan Taylor, who also put up 2 tutties on 145 rushing yards. I mean, Jonathan Taylor has always been a favorite of the Jet Sweep Show since he's been drafted, and it's crazy. It goes to show you how much receptions are really worth when it comes to fantasy. I mean, of course, we are talking in PPR scoring formats, but man, I thought for sure JT would be number 1 with that. Moving on to wide receiver, we have, for those who are watching this in video form, Sidarian Lamb. That's right. Oh, can we show a close-up of this shit right here? This design is one of the many amazing ones you can find on ViridianGlobal.com, including, let's just do a little zoom in here of the hat I'm wearing, which is a Jet Sweep Show hat from ViridianGlobal.com. Head there, man. They are the number 1 for any kind of football apparel. Just trust me on this. Look at that. That logo is fucking fire. Just as fire as my boy CeeDee Lamb was this week, man. Look what happens when you give your best weapon the ball. I mean, CeeDee showed out with his opportunities in a thrilling overtime victory against a New England opponent that has loomed over the Cowboys' heads for many a year. Lamb offered up 9 receptions for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the overtime winner. Holy shit. If you haven't seen that play, go and watch it because he, oh my God, just showboated it right into the end zone and then just smile and wave. Love it. Love it. CD looked every bit the part out there, but didn't see as much usage earlier in the game as I'd like to see. So let's bring that up a little bit, boys. And finally, at tight end, we have Noah Fant. Finally, a name worthy of the mantle. Fant had himself a nice week with 9 receptions for 97 yards and throwing a touchdown in for good measure. Well, not throwing one, I kept receiving one. Yeah, you know. 24.7 fantasy points at a lackluster position could have been the difference in more than a few fantasy gamers' weeks. Couldn't be me, though. Not a single damn share. Ichabod Thaddeus Ulysses, the Swamp Wolverine Harris. Thoughts? He's a bit of a stoic. So that was the flyby. Let's move into Puff Puff Pass, my signature segment that we have repurposed this season into a waiver wire ad drop. Now, last week, we were puffing on Ricky Seals-Jones and Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god himself, while recommending it to pass on Cole Beasley. Beasley, we will have to wait and see on till after tonight, but I gotta say, he was wide open for that touchdown right before halftime there. That was that was a nice move by Allen on a bit of a broken down play. But as for the other guys, Pretty Ricky finished the tight end 6 on the week, man, with 15.8 PPR points. And Amon-Ra finished the wide receiver 43 with 5 receptions for 26 yards. Not quite the result we were looking for. Definitely hit on tight end, though, if you listen to our advice from last week. As for this week, who are we puffing on and who are we passing on? So puffing on this week, first up is one of my guys for this year, Tua Tagovailoa, who is only 27% rostered on Sleeper right now. I guess a lot of people dropped him after the injury, but even though he lost to the Trevor Lawrence-led Jacksonville Jaguars in London, he put up a better fantasy week than him, finishing the QB 10 before tonight's game. With bye week starting now, it is a great time to use Tua as an adequate, more than an adequate fill-in with upside. Second up, we've got T.Y. Hilton, who is only 45% rostered on Sleeper. Another player coming off injury, Hilton may not be the sexiest option to pick up. However, he does have a very favorable schedule coming up that is going to help your depth through bye weeks. They don't have to be the greatest, man, as long as they're getting the opportunities, and he will. My pass this week is... Oh, sorry, you had something? Ichabod Thaddeus Ulysses, the Swamp Wolverine Harris. No? Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you had something there. My pass this week is Taylor Heineke. You can pass that on down, who is 37% rostered on Sleeper. After not the greatest week against a defense that is bleeding points to the position, Taylor goes up against the Packers this week, who aren't the greatest against the QB, but they're pretty solid against the pass overall. I'm definitely fading in single QB and trying to find a better option, at least for this week, into QB and Superflex. That's my Puff Puff Fast for this week. Yeah, I think we have the makings of a decent game here. If Tennessee can turn it on, let's see these weapons are back now. AJ Brown, Julio, let's get using them, man. I'm not worried about Derrick Henry, man. He's going to absolutely slaughter. But from Ichabod Thaddeus Ulysses, the Swamp Wolverine Harris, and I, we got to fly. But tune into the Jet Sweep Show next week, where we are your wingman to fantasy success. Catch you on the flight deck. Oh, go out and enjoy the rest of the game. I hope you won all your matches this week. Come on, AJ Brown. Couple tutties, please. Thank you for tuning in to the Jet Sweep Show. You can follow Will at It's Harris Time, Smokey at Smokey LNFL, and the show at Jet Sweep Show. You can find the podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next week.